All right, so we're going to do a live interview with one of our clients. I'm going to give it a second for some people to jump on. Just let people jump on. And I've got Mike Phillips from McCloskey Motors in Colorado Springs. And I've got Scarlet Mick, our vice president, sitting here.
Hi, everyone.
And just going to let some people, they're building an audience. So Facebook says they're building an audience, so we're going to let them build an audience. So I got some pink happy birthday stuff back there. I'm a princess today.
See it brings out my eyes, so it works.
Yeah. See my princess thing here? It's pretty interesting. All right, so I don't know if anyone's on. This thing's usually behind. So anyways, Mike came up today from the Springs and brought us cupcakes. I mean, how often does a dealership bring a vendor cupcakes? I mean, I've never had a dealer bring me cupcakes. He's going to get the best customer service ever.
It's because of the pink happy birthday. They're not pink cupcakes, though.
So Mike is a independent store in the Springs, and they're a pretty good sized independent store. How many cars a month are you guys selling right now, Mike?
Right about 150.
So they do about 150 cars, which is a good sized independent store. Their website is bigjoeauto.com if you guys want to check it out and take a peek at bigjoeauto.com. They're on their third month with TECOBI. And they're doing really, really well. I want to interview them so that maybe some of our other clients that are using TECOBI or some dealers that are trying to figure out what TECOBI does and how successful they can be with it can hear from someone who's actually using it and using it successfully. He came in today because he sees value in our relationship. I just want to add that.
Absolutely.
I did not pay him anything to be here. I'm not discounting anything.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah. He got some free pens, so we gave him some free pens. Maybe he'll write some deals with the free pens, but other than the free pens, that's about all he got. He came in because he sees value in the relationship, and he wanted to say hi to the team, see our office, and bring us some cupcakes. So his first full month with TECOBI, he sold 25 cars. He was on our $10,000 package, so he spent $10,000 his first full month. And look, Nate from your BDC says we love you, Mike.
Thanks, Nate. We love you too.
So his first full month, 25 cars sold on a $10,000 package. And I'm just going to ask him a couple questions here. So, Mike, how did you hear about us?
We actually, our owner and I, we were looking for a platform to be able to advertise on social. We tried it some ourselves and so forth, and so our radar was just up on that sort of advertising and what path could we go down. And interestingly, I think we picked up an article in Auto Success, I think was what it was, a few months. Ironically, Jason had connected with me a year ago, and I didn't have any clue what you did. I didn't know who you were. But so when it came across, and we were looking for a platform to do some social advertising and so forth, what happened was I saw your name, our owner saw your name, and said, well, hey, you should check this guy out. And I said, well, I think he's on my Facebook, ironically. So it came across, I read an article, reached out to you on Facebook. I think a minute and a half later, you responded and said, hey, yeah, we should talk. And we invited you down to the store. And at this point, the rest is history, albeit short history so far, but we're building history. So.
Yeah. Well, that's great. Thank you, Brian Ankney. I know you're tagged in this. Appreciate the Auto Success team and everything they do. Wouldn't be sitting here with Mike if it wasn't for the Auto Success team. So want to give a big shout out to them. They do a great job marketing for TECOBI. So one thing I want to ask you that I know a lot of our dealers are probably curious about, the 25 cars you sold in the first month, what was the makeup of those sold units? Meaning, when I say makeup, I mean between text messages, your BDC phone calls, and then walk-in traffic. What would you say the makeup is?
And this is shooting from the gut a little bit, but our makeup was probably off the cuff about 20% text appointment, just right off the bat, text appointments. They saw it, came in through your BDC, got the text appointment. Then it forwarded onto our BDC. It was probably about another 50% that our BDC was working in tandem with yours. And then the remainder 30% is just walk-in traffic. So it was just, people came in and said, "Oh, hey, I saw your ad on Facebook. You guys are all over the place, so we need to go check it out." So probably 20, 50, 30. I mean, that's not not scientific by any means. I have it in a log, but as we're sitting here for this, that's probably pretty close to the pin. So.
Yeah. So I just want to reiterate on that. When you sign up with TECOBI, we do our best to set as many appointments as we can via text message. There's only so much we can do via text message. We still need your BDC involved to make phone calls. We will typically push the leads to the dealership 24 hours after the appointment, or after we get the lead. If we can't get an appointment, we push it to the BDC. Yes, your BDC is a beast. I'm going to agree with that, Anthony.
BDC is where the magic happens.
Yeah, the
right,
BDC
Anthony?
is where the magic happens.
I'm glad you guys are all working and not watching a live video on Facebook. Nice job. Yeah, nice job.
You guys can stay watching. I also want to point out the walk-in traffic. So when we first started this, we had no clue that there was walk-in traffic. I started to realize it on our first couple of accounts that we were driving walk-in traffic. Some of our clients that turned off their ads for a limited amount of time would see severe drops in their walk-in traffic. So Mike is one of the first people to actually call every customer after delivery to find out how they heard about the dealership, just to make sure that the salesperson didn't miss in or something. He's really tracking all of his sales down to the T, because as an independent store, they've got a smaller budget than a franchise, and they have to make sure that they're maximizing every dollar that they're spending. So he needs to know where the sold units are coming from. So about 20% of our sales come from we can get into that in a second, Jesse. I'll ask him if he's comfortable with it, and then we'll let him make a decision on that.
I can't read it from here, but
it's about money. So the next question is, what do you see the biggest advantage of TECOBI is? What's the biggest advantage to what we do?
Instant gratification, meaning from the consumer side, what I see is you instantly capture the lead, engage the customer, are engaged with the customer or our call center, and then the customer already feels like they're a part of something. It really is a good relationship marketing tool. So it's instant, it's automatic, it comes over to us, and then we're still working together. I mean, we have your crew is tagging us still, saying, "Hey, did you follow up this customer?" So that helps keep us on our game as well. But the instant engaging part, and I risk saying this because I know we're on a live video, but the almost guaranteed lead capture, because you get all the customer's information, it's already input there. So when they click on it, you've got it, which means we've got it because we paid for it. So
yep. So basically what he's saying is the second the customer clicks that ad, we're instantly engaging them. There's no website to load, there's no forms to fill out. Customer is interested in the car, they click the ad, it's a 3-click process, and then we're instantly engaging them via text message. That's what the people of today want. They want instant answers. They have a question on a specific ad. They don't want to go to a website. They don't want to fill out a form. They want to quickly get the answers that they're looking for, and we found a way to do that with our texting platform. So the next question is, how would you compare TECOBI to other social marketing companies?
You're the only social marketing company we've engaged with, and part of the reason for that is when we were looking for companies in that arena, there were ironically, you're contacting a company to do follow-up and lead generation, and we weren't getting followed up by the other companies. So for me, I think it's an excellent source because you actually followed through, and to date have done what you said you would do. So for us, that's a really big deal. We can pick up the phone. We know that we'll get to somebody that can make a decision here, get to one of you guys and have a conversation. If something's a little off, you tweak it immediately. So like I said, for me, since we haven't experienced other social marketing platforms per se, the reason we went with you too is simply because of the follow-up, which is why you're engaging a social marketing company, in my opinion, is to generate the leads and get good follow-up on those. So
Yeah, so simply put, if the social media company's sales team can't follow up with you, they're probably not going to follow up with your customers.
bingo.
So what do you think makes, or actually I have a question from Jake Davis here, which I want to touch on real quick. He said, you mentioned 25% or 20% of your 25 sales, which is 5, came from walk-ins from TECOBI ads, but how do you know they didn't see one of the other ads you have on Facebook?
Well, two things. Let me see if I'm reading that right. I'm sorry, it's really small.
He wants to know how you knew it was from Facebook.
20% of the 25
From our
sales
ads.
came from walk-ins. No, actually 30% probably came in from walk-ins. 20% came from them texting and setting the appointment right off the cuff. About 30% was walk-in. You're saying, how do I know they didn't see one of our other ads? Because when we engaged with Jason and Scarlet's company, we stopped doing our own Facebook ad marketing. They're it. So we cut the tie as far as ad marketing on Facebook, that they do it. So we're not competing with ourselves. How do I know they didn't see one of our other ads? They did. Usually when I'm calling our customers, and I'm sorry if I'm going off on a tangent here, but when I'm calling the customers, when I'm saying, hey, okay, so we're selling 150 cars a month, I'm calling and I'm talking with probably 100 of those 150 people myself, or someone that works very close to me, and they're telling us, hey, I heard your radio ad, I saw you on Facebook. There's no one thing in many cases that they can cite, and so we give a little bit of credit to each of those places. But there are a lot of them that are saying, well, I saw the ad on Facebook. Literally, I had a guy that told me this was the best one ever. He's driving by our store. We're on one of the main streets in Colorado Springs. He was driving by our store, and he says, I was driving by and I saw the truck and it had the sign on it, and I'd seen it on Facebook and I thought it was a sign, so I pulled across 2 lanes of traffic and I bought it. It's a true statement. You can't make that stuff up. So it was the branding message. Where did he see it? He had seen it on Facebook, but on top of that, he saw it on our lot display. So we were consistent with what they're advertising for us, and it made us that sale.
Yep. I think he says that makes perfect sense. So I'm going to move to my next question. What do you think makes you so successful with our program?
I think, one, the communication that we've had with your company. We have really good communication, I feel like, from your side and from ours. And then the processes that we've implemented on our side, and then I'm calling signals back to you saying, hey, here's what we're doing, what else do you think? And you're calling, it's people, process, and communication in a nutshell.
Yeah, so we've taken a lot of strides to make sure that our team is communicating efficiently with the dealerships. I'm going to kind of add to this a little bit because I see it from the vendor side, and in order for something to work, you have to have the dealer and the vendor do their parts. Oftentimes, as a vendor and as an entrepreneur who's running a company, every dealer we sign up is precious to me. Every lead that comes in is precious to me. It means the difference between my staff being paid and my staff not being paid. Oftentimes we sign up dealers, we tag them in a conversation, and we don't get a response back for 24, 48 hours. We'll sign up a dealer and the BDC just off the cuff doesn't want to work the leads. They don't want the additional lead traffic. And I haven't seen that with Mike. I mean, his team and everyone there has been consistent in their response. They've been consistent in working with us. Another thing is when you start these relationships, it's not always smooth in the beginning. Instead of Mike saying, hey, Mr. Vendor, you're not doing everything right, he said, hey, I've got these issues, let's work through them, and we work through them in a partnership, not a dealer beat up the vendor relationship. So that's what I've personally seen in his account and the difference between him and some of the other clients. Although we've got a lot of other great clients, and I'm not trying to throw anyone under the bus, but Mike has really shown that he wants to work with us and he's willing to work with us, and he isn't constantly beating us up. So the next
Cupcakes.
one, yeah, and bringing cupcakes. Cupcakes always help. I like cupcakes and donuts. So the next one is, and I want to bring this one up because Mike just left from dealer.com. He had a dealer.com website and had a little bit of a customer service debacle with dealer.com. And as everyone knows out in the automotive world, I'm not a big fan of Cox or Auto Trader or the way that they treat dealers. So the next one is, how would you rate our customer service?
I've not had it down the other path. I thought you were gonna. No, your guys' customer service is excellent. We have Anthony, who I think is tagged in the conversation. He is our performance manager. He's in contact with us 2-3 times a week at least. And I will tell you, anytime something comes up where I'm communicating with either your texting team or a performance manager or you or Scarlet, it's outstanding. It really is, like you said, it's a really positive relationship because there's an immediate response. To me, not the biggest, but one of the biggest things to a successful relationship, any successful relationship, is really good communication. And so I think that the fact that you guys have that dialed in so well, the communication part of it, the customer service is outstanding. Do you always tell us what we want to hear? No, because I've asked you sometimes, hey, you should have this. It should do this in the platform, right? If it came with a free espresso machine, and you're like, no, I'm programming that in the next one. So, but it's legit. I can expect an honest and down-to-earth answer from anybody here.
Yeah, I mean, we try our best to have the best customer service. Our phones are always on. Our performance managers work night and day. I mean, our team is dedicated to the success of our clients. End of the day, our clients are what David Reich says. What's up, Scarlet?
Hi, David.
Our clients are what make us successful. Without making them successful, we're never going to be successful. And it's really, really important that we take care of our dealerships and clients. I'm always willing to get on the phone if there's an issue. Any one of my clients is welcome to message me on Facebook. You can text me if you don't have my number at 720-708-0706. Email me, send a carrier pigeon, and as long as I'm not sleeping for the 5 or 6 hours that I sleep a night, I'm going to respond. I'll respond right away, and I'll make sure the problems are taken care of. And I think some other vendors in the space should probably follow suit on that, because if they don't, I'm going to be getting that budget. But that's about all the questions I have for Mike. Does anyone else have? Oh, let's actually touch on Jesse's question. So this is a very tricky one because we are on a public live video. Mm-hmm. But what is the money? What was the money for the money on those deals? Do you feel comfortable sharing? I think you've already shared one aspect, which is a 10x. So, I mean, I don't know if you want to touch on that. It's up to you.
That specifically, no, it's a good return on investment. It is an absolute, it's a bet that in Vegas, you take the bet every single time. And I will tell you the leads, we've talked in our manager meetings and so forth, the leads that are generated off of this platform, that come, what did somebody else say?
He said smile, Scarlet.
Smile, Scarlet.
She's sitting there like a mannequin. She's like this.
I'm like, look, I'm watching you.
I'm on live video. There's 13 people watching me.
So the thing is, the one thing we've seen, because it is really social and relationship-based marketing, if you treat the people the right way that are coming in, so again, it takes the relationship we've established with TECOBI as a vendor, we treat the people the right way coming in, we've actually seen a greater profit per vehicle on those deals than what we've seen on, it's slightly higher than what we're seeing on others across the board. So again, all in all, it's a good return on investment, and it has continued to be consistently since we signed up to now. We've seen, and it's incremental sales. It's, there are some that say, well, yeah, I heard your radio ad or I saw it on TV or whatever the deal may be, but for the most part too, it is incremental sales. It's not like it's taking, what is it, robbing from Peter to pay Paul, right?
Yeah.
So
and I have one more question. Did we beat Auto Trader last month?
Yeah. I told you I really don't want to name too many vendor names, but yeah, yes.
He loves Auto Trader. It's okay. We love you too, Auto Trader.
And Dan said, happy early birthday to Skittle Tits over there.
Yeah, Dan says that's not my nickname. That is
cake set.
That is Cody's nickname. That is not my nickname. That is Cody's nickname. I don't know where they got Skittle Tits. So, anyways, Mike, I think Mike's going to join us on our 30-day live Facebook challenge.
I at least made day one.
So today is day one for him. If he continues tomorrow, it's day two. If you miss a day, you get 1 day missed. You got to do 2 videos. If you miss 2 days, you got to start over. Those are the made-up rules that I made on the fly right now.
All right.
So tag me, tag Jared, tag Dan. Anyone else got any questions for our kind dealer who came out and is willing to share his experience? I'll give you guys a couple seconds, see if there's any questions.
Dan said 365. Come on. That's a long
Come on,
one.
365. Are you kidding me? He's lucky to get me to 1. I hope you're talking to him.
Yeah, I'm not doing 365, Dan. We're not doing 365, Dan.
David Rick said auto faker.
Auto
gosh,
faker.
Yeah.
Auto faker.
We'll not go down that path.
Yeah.
Anthony said, where did Anthony's go?
Oh, nice.
There's so many comments. Is there any dealers with comments that might be on here? Any dealers that want to know what he's doing to be successful? No?
If so, you can email or call me too.
So what's your email?
Email is mike@bigjoeauto.com. Our website's bigjoeauto.com. And yeah, I mean, you can certainly check that out. Get on and email us. If you call any of the numbers on our website, you're going to get my BDC. So please don't have a whole bunch of dealers secret shopping them. But if you wanted to call and get a hold of me, rock and roll.
No secret shoppers.
I didn't
Mike,
say no
what was your area of hesitation prior to signing up with TECOBI? Expectations? How is your BDC taking leads when they're sent over to your CRM?
What was my area of hesitation prior to signing up to TECOBI? I don't know that we had any hesitation. I reached out to Jason and said, hey, why don't you come over? We tried doing it ourselves, and I did, and we had some other different folks inside our dealership that helped, and we tried doing it, and that was a hard deal, in my opinion, to really generate a good quality lead and so forth. So when I reached out to Jason, I think it was within 3 or 4 days, I said, hey, would you come down to the dealership and meet with us? So we got a live demo. And so I think from that point, there wasn't necessarily any hesitation. I think we signed up that day.
Yeah, you guys gave me the credit card on the spot.
He said, how's your BDC tackling leads when we're sent over to the CRM? I mean, we have a pretty specific, you mean from TECOBI, we have a process that when it comes from TECOBI, we have an idea, and I sent some ideas to Jason, which I think some of them are implemented on how they approach our leads and so forth. So we kind of already have an idea of what they've texted them and what they've said. And then my BDC will follow them up with a couple of quick texts. My BDC's area of expertise is really on the phone. We want to get them off of text onto the phone. And so we send them a couple of quick texts. The second one says, hey, you know what, and I don't remember right off the top of my head, we wrote it, so it's like, hey, we've been texting back and forth, why don't I just give you a call? And it tells them the BDR's name, and then we pick up the phone and call them, and then we take it from there. You know, we get plenty of texts back that say, no, don't call. We get plenty of voicemails back and that kind of deal. But at that point, we're trying to transition them into phone, because then his system, Jason's system, and Scarlet's system is still, they're going to pop them every once in a while on text on their robot also. So we continue to work in tandem and try not to run over each other. So I hope that answers what you're looking for.
And then Joe Healy, I want to get his real quick. What creative works best?
What creative works best for our store? They handle all the creative, so that, I mean, maybe Jason could answer that. But for our store, they just grab, in the advertising and so forth. I've seen some really slick ads, but they come up with the wording. They're posting actual cars, and for us, we really don't post pricing in our Facebook advertising and so forth. So that's part of what is designed to get the customer to engage. Is they're saying, hey, what's the price, or do you still have this car and so forth. So it's 1 or 2 photos. I think you've done 1 or 2 that were some videos for us that got some good response. Those, to me, seem like it's almost been more of a branding message than an engaging message. When you're going to the video, everyone thinks they're cool, but for me, I think it's just the simple, good-looking car. Hey, here's our offer, and people click through, and and start engaging with us.
Yeah, and I'll touch on that for you real quick, Joe. The biggest downfall I see to most social marketers, and I see this all the time, there's no clear call to action. They put up the ad and they're not telling the customer what to do if they're interested in that vehicle. They just put a link, or that's about it. They put a link to a website. They're not saying, hey, go to this website and we'll give you this in return. It's, what do I get if I click this call to action? Your clear call to action is a must in your ads, whether it's Facebook, TV, radio, it does not matter. You need to have a clear call to action. He's not running New Car, Dan, because he's an independent store. Used cars, buyback ads, that's pretty much what he does. I don't want to give away his secret on his buyback because it's kind of his thing, but he runs the buyback and he runs pretty strong on it.
Jason did say, too, he's going to do one with the video with the Takobi thong, and we're out on that one. At least at this point, we're pretty out on that one.
Yeah, so I ordered some Takobi thongs, and we're going to be wearing those in front of the store.
Oh my god.
All right, so that's about it. I mean, we've been on here. I think this is my longest live video ever, 26 minutes.
Wow.
So Mike is now put on the Facebook challenge. I expect to see something tomorrow. Mike, there's no requirements. It can be about anything. Doesn't have to be about selling anything.
But it could be.
It could be about selling something. Tag me, Dan, and Jared. Especially if you have something beneficial for the automotive industry. There's a lot of people out there that can use the information.
All right.
Anyways, everyone have a fantastic Friday. It is Friday. Woohoo! And sell some cars this weekend. It's the last day of the month tomorrow.
2 days.
Or 2 more days.
Tomorrow.
Yep. And for those of you open on Sunday, you got Sunday. But anyways, have a fantastic weekend and great Friday.
Happy Friday, guys.
Make the magic happen.